As I've said in a previous video, Music One always tries to schedule the songs in each category in rank order, down the list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it gets to each slot for a category, it will place the song that is, at that moment, the top of the card stack. So in Power Gold, if it has scheduled the first 15 songs, then this one by Montgomery Gentry will be at the top of the stack when Music One schedules the next Power Gold slot. But at that moment, in that slot, the Montgomery Gentry song might violate one of my formatting rules. So Music One will schedule the Charlie Robison song there, and then it will try to drop the Montgomery Gentry song into the next Power Gold slot after that one. If it doesn't fit there, it will schedule Little Big Town, and then try to place Montgomery Gentry in the next slot, and eventually it'll find a place to put it. So again, because of the formatting rules I set, Music One cannot always schedule the songs in 1, 2, 3 card stack order. It needs to have a number of choices when it comes to each slot in the schedule, so that if the top song doesn't fit, it can look down to the next one and the next one if need be. Now, if a person installs a lot of formatting rules, tempo rules, gender rules, sound codes, separation rules, hour restriction rules, and so on, Music One may have to dig fairly deeply down the list to find songs that fit for each slot. How far to dig is set here on Category Rules. Each category can have its own specific rules. The Maximum Choices box tells M1 how far down the list it can dig. I recommend that you click the Set Automatically box. It will then set the number at about 15% of the total number of songs in the category. And if you add or remove songs from the category in the future, that number will automatically recalculate and adjust. But it won't set the dig level higher than 30, no matter how many songs you have in the category. You can remove the check and set the number manually if you like, but there's almost never any reason to set it higher than 30. Now, here's a question I often get. Music One stops during scheduling because all of the songs at the top of the card stack for some slot fail a formatting rule. In this case, maybe it shows 30 songs. So, in the scheduling window, you click the search button, and of course Music One then finds and shows you all 272 songs in the category, and most of them would not violate any formatting rule in that particular slot. So, the person calls me and says, Steve-O, how come Music One won't just go ahead and pick one of those other songs? How come it just shows me those few choices? And why can't I set the dig level at, say, 150? Well, you could, but you probably shouldn't, and here's why. Another significant and important factor in proper competitive music scheduling is making sure that all the songs rotate through the hours, through the day parts, through the times of day consistently and in a pattern that you approve of. Here's my rotation pattern for my Power Gold category. I've got it planned for a 1-day, 3-hour turnover. Let's say the Montgomery Gentry song scheduled in the 10 a.m. hour on a Tuesday. Then it should normally come up again in the 1 p.m. hour on Wednesday, and then again in the hours where we see all the blue boxes. Now, if Music One scheduled Montgomery Gentry at 10, and then came to a Power Gold slot, say, at 10 p.m., and there was a really large dig level, it could happen that the same song might get scheduled 12 hours later, instead of the day and 3 hours later the way I have it planned. The chances are slim that such a thing would happen, but with a big search depth, it could happen. The best thing to do on all your categories is to set the selection method to rotate with multiple choices and to allow M1 to set that number automatically.